Welcome to the first Demarcation Media Community Spotlight video. I've been wanting to do videos like this for a little while now. There's a whole bunch of really cool stuff that you guys are doing on Reddit, Discord, Facebook, and the Mega Construx gallery. I just hadn't started yet. I don't know why. Probably because I was just too lazy to start. But I decided to run a little contest on the Mega Construx Unboxed site. Just kind of a little, not really that serious thing. There's no real prizes. It's just the winners get some bragging rights, I guess. That's kind of how the contests on the gallery work. But I figured, why not go ahead and start off this series by looking at these entries and, just kind of giving a little bit of an analysis of each photo. And yeah, that'll be how we'll start off this series. I definitely want to go and look on the Reddit at some point. In some of the Discord servers, there's some really cool customs and photos. And then there's some cool stuff on Facebook. But what we're going to start with is right here on the screen, we have the Mega Construx Unboxed website. So you can see here the layout. We've got on the side over here, there's the home, the build, which that's where you find the alt build instructions. So any of the infinite sets that have alt builds, that is where you will find them. Then there's the share page, which that is where the gallery itself is, and then my profile. So the gallery is really cool, but it's kind of been having some problems because Mega has dropped off effort that they put into it a couple years ago. Like when I first joined, there was posts by the moderators all the time. We would see a bunch of people posting really high quality stuff. Like it was just pretty good, but they kind of, I don't know if it was because they got short staffed or they just couldn't keep putting funds into it or what, but it kind of has gotten a little broken. The report button doesn't work. The moderation, I think, is mostly just bots, which means some weird things can go through. Like if you can post a picture of just a door and it will go through. I don't know why. That's a little weird. And there's some users that are kind of troublemaking. But overall, it's still a pretty good place. It's still got some potential. So I wanted to show off the kind of layout real quick. And then we've got all the entries to the contest. So my contest was pretty simple. There was two rules. First was you needed to take a photo outdoors and you had to use Mega Construx figures. So we will just go ahead and launch right into the first one. This is by Mr. Justin 412. He's got a picture of grunts eating berries. That's really funny, actually. So we've got one version that's edited and then one version that's not edited. To be honest, I kind of like the unedited version better. I can kind of see what's going on a little easier than with this one. Like the editing here is cool, but it's so bright and kind of in your face that it gets a little bit hard to see what's going on. But the berries do stand out. That's hilarious. They're actually holding it. Like it's actually in their hands. I like that a lot. That's good. That's really good. So that one was by Mr. Justin 41. I like that. He's got some potential. Like the photography itself, the lighting, the angle, it's all really solid. Okay, so this one is Spartan Red 527. Now, this one I think technically breaks the rules because it does not look like it's outside, just judging on like how the light is. Wait, I think I can actually, can I not? If I do Control Alt D, wait, it's not letting me. It was just letting me, here we go. Okay, so now apparently I can make little like arrows and stuff. See the way the light's hitting the top of the helmets? And like, well, that one was way too long, but right here, and particularly right here on top of the Spartan's helmet, that looks like a ceiling light to me. So I don't think that this is outdoors, so it can't really be in the contest. However, it is a pretty cool photo, so I wanted to look at it anyway. A lot of the muzzle flare pieces, so it doesn't look like there's any editing at all. This kind of looks like a phone filter. And then, oh, this guy in the middle, the one who's helping the Spartan, because it says that the Spartan is being carried off the battlefield by William Baker. I guess that's what this guy has. So Marine Baker has, he looks like he's got part of his visor like cut off. So he's got the almost like one eye thing like the CE Spartans, or not Spartans, CE Marines. So that's kind of cool. The lighting is a little odd, just because, like I said, it looks like a ceiling light. Oh, look at that. Stink bug. Gotta love it. Yeah, so it looks like ceiling light, so that the lighting is a little bit harsh and puts things in a little too much contrast, but the posing of the figures is really great. I especially like the guy kind of falling backwards off of that piece of rubble while he's still shooting his gun. It's pretty cool. Very cool, but I will slide this one way off to the side because that one cannot be in the contest. So this is the first one we looked at, and now we have one by Mr. Beans 2002. Oh. Whoa, wait. Okay, I was looking at the icicles as trees, and I just now realized that they're actually icicles. And is that smoke off to the side? Can I get up my little arrows again? Yeah. That's smoke right here. It's almost like his armor is like venting steam from the vents back here. Also, I probably should not keep using too many of those little arrows. I just like using that little effect. This one's pretty cool. I like the use of the icicles. I'm curious if Mr. Beans actually put those icicles there, or if they just happen to be there. I would imagine he put them there. That's pretty cool. And we got Oceanic, which Oceanic Spartans are just really cool in general. And then there's a bit of a kind of lens flare coming off the visor. So that's pretty neat. The only thing I would have liked is if the camera angle was a little like lower, so we're almost more level with the Spartan, just because I want to see more of the icicle forest. But that's really cool, and I have quite a bit of respect for people who actually go out and shoot in the snow. I did it once years ago. I don't want to do that again. That was not fun. It was not fun in the slightest. It was freezing, and yeah, it just wasn't good. So this is pretty cool. I like this one. I like the icicle trees. I really looked at those as trees this whole time and just now realized that it's icicles. Okay, so this is by Soda Nerd 3. This one's really cool. I like the kind of framing of it because we've got the, what is that, a Banshee off to the right, and then off to the left we have some weapon crates, and then we've got 2 dead enemies, and then a Spartan dead center. So that's really cool framing, and then he's kind of looking out into the horizon. It's like just white until the very top, and then we get to see kind of what he's looking towards. So that's pretty cool. And that Spartan looks like a custom as well. Looks like the EOD Spartan, parts of the EOD Spartan, and then a Mark IV head. That's pretty neat as well. The white is a little overpowering. It frames the Spartan nicely, but the white is a little overpowering because when you look at it, your eyes are drawn to light, and that's so much light. So it's kind of like a spotlight being shined in your eyes just a little bit. So having something out there to break it up just a little bit, maybe some more, I don't know, crashed stuff, maybe some more, I don't know, rocks even could have helped break it up a little bit. But it's not bad. I like this one a lot. And again, we got another snow photo, which I think is pretty cool when people actually go out there and get down in the snow and freeze themselves to death just to get a perfect shot. That's a very good one. That one, Soda Nerd 3. Oh, yes, we've got one by Z19, Spartan Z19. So I looked at this one earlier, and it's actually a remake of one of his old shots. So here's the first one. And this is definitely indoors. We got figures everywhere. It looks like Emil just kind of went ham on all of the Covenant and wiped them all out. And then the new one, what a massive improvement. Does he say when? That was the first ever photo 6 years ago. So that right there, from here to here, is 6 years of progress. And it really, really, really shows. Look at this. So let's see, what do we got off to the side? I think that's a skiff. Looks like the Infinite Brute skiff toppled over on its side, smoking on the one side. There's a chieftain, a mercenary, and a couple just brute miners, all dead. There's a dead grunt, poor guy. Oh, there's another dead grunt in the background, and some more just like rubble. It's all smoking. And then Z19's Sigfig is dead center, the red scout. Looks like there's some extra painted detail. Looks like he went over the whole thing with some more paint, because I know he does some pretty good custom. And then there's like little spots of alien blood all over the armor and then on the ground. I'm usually not one to put blood in photos just because a lot of times I feel like it detracts from the photo itself. But this is done pretty well. It's like minor, just a little extra detail. And then this, honestly, the way this is posed and lit reminds me a lot of my photos, just because I do a lot of the same thing where, you know, have one or two figures dead center and then like the battlefield around them. This one's really good. Definitely the 6 years of progress is visible. Ooh, we got, let's see, this is by I Am Distressed. This one also kind of reminds me of one of my photos. It reminds me of, wait, now I need to find it. Hold on a second. I know it's on here. Oh, this took a lot longer than I thought it would. I thought I was just going to be able to click over. This one. Find my spot again. Yeah, here we go. So this reminds me a lot of like this kind of thing. So definitely. I like too how the whole thing is tilted. So that's called a Dutch tilt when you turn it like that. Well, at least I think it is in film. I usually call it the same thing when I'm doing photos because it's basically the same idea. But usually it's used to denote like confusion in one of the subjects, usually the main subject. But the way it's here, it's tilted so that Chief is kind of fighting uphill. And it's CE Chief, so it's kind of like in Combat of Fall when you're fighting at all these huge odds against aliens, you know, very little about. So it's basically an uphill battle for Chief, and the way that the camera is tilted here kind of really makes you feel that. And the muzzle flare on the shotgun is cool because that piece does not actually fit on the shotgun. It fits on the wider barrel gun, so he had to either use sticky tack or something to get it on there. So that's pretty cool. And then the posing of Chief is great. He's like really into the shot. The Elite is falling over, which, how do you do that? Is there a, no, there's not a stand hidden in there because I can see the Elite's feet like sticking upwards, so there's no place for him to be standing on studs, I don't think. Unless there is a stand hidden there? I don't know, but that's pretty, that's cool. And then we got a poor dead grown. But yeah, I'm kind of stumped at how that Elite is standing up, unless he edited out some sort of a pole. I guess it's possible, but I don't see any signs of editing. Very well done. Very well done. I cannot figure out how that Elite is like that. But yeah, he's like falling backwards. It's really good. And there's like no extra editing. No lens flares, no muzzle flares, no visor glows. It's just a really clean photo. And it really doesn't need to be edited. I mean, I personally like just adding muzzle flare effects and visor glows to everything. But I think honestly this photo is better without any editing. It's just really clean and really solid. So, very good job. This one is fantastic. Okay, so this one is by Who the Cares. And this is another one that I'm not sure if it's outside or not. And this one's even harder to tell because all of the light is coming from this little kind of barrel. It's like one of those metal barrel pieces, and these Marines all lit a fire in it. There we go. We can see the fire better. So all the light's coming from there. So I'm not sure if this is outdoors or not. But this is really cool, and it makes me want to try doing this effect now. I think there's a little light kit that you can buy that does this. It's like a little LED wire thing that goes through the bottom of the can and puts the light through. So I want to try doing this now. That's a really cool effect. And the fact that that light is the only source of light in the whole photo really makes the darkness beyond all of the people here really just super oppressing. And like if you step out into the darkness, you will come back. So that's pretty cool. And I think that main person front and center is Who the Cares, like Sig-Fig ODST, that I think is the helmet removable. I don't remember now. I think that helmet might be like able to go onto the big head. I might be wrong there though. Yeah, this one's really cool. The framing is really good. I like how low the angle is to the figure, so we kind of feel like we're another person standing around the fire. I just don't know if it's outdoors. I cannot tell, and it's pretty much impossible to tell because of the way the light is. So I guess we'll just assume it's outdoors. Okay, so this is by Halo ODST 59. And this one's really cool. So we've got the green Mark 7 standing kind of almost front and center. He's off to the side a little bit. And then he's got the AR. He's ready to fight if he needs to. And he's kind of looking out, almost like he's looking for maybe his squad if he got separated, or looking for enemies. Then we got the Hog parked in the background, and it's like the Spartan just stopped when he's going up the hill, so the Hog is like all tilted like that. So that's really cool. That's just makes the photo more interesting, as opposed to having the if the Hog was just parked in the background just straight and the figure was there, that would be great. Like, it would work out really well, but the way that the Hog is tilted just makes it a lot more interesting. The highlights here, like the light shining down, are a little intense. It looks like maybe it was wet that day, or maybe it's just the way the light was hitting, but the background, the way the leaves are, and then the way the light's hitting it is a little bit distracting, and the highlights are a little bit sharp. But other than that, this is a really, really good photo. It just works out really well. And there's very little like actually going on. It's just the Spartan standing there and the Hog parked in the background. But it works out very, very nicely. Yeah, I'm looking closer, and I can't actually tell if it's like mud there that he used for the photo, or if it's not. Oh yes, Busters 2005 did this one, and he said this was his first time doing an outdoor photo. And to that I say, you need to do it more, because this is fantastic. So we've got, once again, out in the snow photo, freezing, and then we've got 3 ODSTs that look like they just hit the ground. The doors have popped off, and they are now out and ready for action. And the way that they're kind of staggered into the background is really good, because so I look at the picture and I see the first guy up front. I see him getting his sniper ready. I see that is a custom ODST. He's got like camo painted on him and everything. And then my eye, because you look at things, the human eye goes from left to right usually when you're looking at things. And so I'm looking, and then my view goes straight from that pod to the next one. And I see the ODST there popping out. Looks like maybe that's Rookie. Maybe? Rookie or the Marine sniper from Infinite with a DMR or something. getting out, and then my eye just goes smoothly to the next pod, which is that Mickey? Kind of looks like Mickey. I see red print on the head and the chest, and a blue visor. And then even the way the background is, so it looks like a fence or a wall or something in the background. And usually, you know, when you're just taking a picture in the background of, like, taking a picture in your backyard or whatever, in the background you'll get houses or other stuff in the background, and it doesn't look great. But the way this wall is, it kind of fits. I almost could see that being part of the Halo ring, you know, especially on the new Halo ring on Zeta Halo, where all those metal things are like sticking up out of the ground where it's broken. That kind of almost gives me that kind of vibe. So that's really cool. I like that one a lot. And then the lighting is actually pretty solid for being out in the snow where it's so bright. Like, snow can be hard that way because you have the sun coming in and bouncing off the snow, and everything can just get washed out. But this one's not washed out, like, barely at all. Like, maybe in the background we've got a little bit of clipping, but that's not bad at all. So very good job. I like this one. Very, very good job. And this one's by Old Sparrow. Old Sparrow is a fairly new member to the gallery as far as I know, but photos are really good. And this one's interesting because, so we've got a kind of a beach, and there's a brute captain walking away from us. But the focus isn't on him. The focus is on the sand in the kind of middle ground. So it's like it's almost like he's walking away from the war almost. Because the whole picture has a very peaceful kind of vibe to it. The light is kind of soft. There's no real harsh textures, and the brute's not running away. He's not charging. He's just kind of walking calmly away, which is not something we see brutes doing very often. Usually they're like charging and grunting and smashing things. But this guy has, I guess, decided he wants a better life, and he has walked away from wherever this was. That's pretty cool. It's not usually the kind of feel I see when it comes to Halo or Mega Construx stuff in general. Usually it's like the battles and all that, but this is really different, and I think that's a good thing. It works out pretty nice. That's really cool. And I don't think it would work out nearly as well if the photo wasn't so soft. The softness to the photo gives the kind of peaceful. That's pretty cool. I like how different it is. Okay, so we've got one by Expired Beam. What a name. What a name. This is another snow one. We've got a Gungnir Spartan with his energy sword out fighting a Elite Ultra, which is the like Spec Ops one. And it looks like Expired Beams has painted red highlights onto the armor and changed the eye color. What was the eye color? Yellow for the dark guy? Or was it blue? It might have been. I obviously have not gotten mine out in a while, which I probably should. But yeah, the red kind of makes his Spec Ops look a lot better. And it looks like both of these figures are kind of up to their knees in the snow, and they're charging towards each other, getting ready to fight. I like the way they're set up. I like the way the energy swords are angled, because that kind of is, when you look at it, it kind of helps you to frame things when you're looking at it. I definitely would have liked to be more on their level, because up high shots can work, but a lot of times when you're going with the smaller figures, having it be more on their level is better, just because it helps you get more immersed in the photo. Also, how deep they're buried in the snow is a little bit odd, just a little bit, but not bad. And again, shooting in the snow is very difficult, so that's one that I could let slide. Yeah, that's really cool. I like that one. Okay, this one is by Sita. Okay, did he stick this guy in his fire pit? What? Okay, I've seen people work with like their figures and fire and stuff. I've never been brave enough to try that just because I don't want to burn my figures. But this is really cool. So first of all, the camera is tilted again, which kind of, it's tilted in such a way that makes me feel like I'm falling off of the screen. And then we've got the big chunk of whatever it is in the background burning, and it almost looks like a I don't know, it looks like a piece of a ship or something. Now the thing that breaks the illusion for me is the corner of the house. If you framed it so that the corner of the house was not there, or even just like turn this into a tall photo, which I usually don't like that. Having tall photos, I personally don't like shooting in that format. It makes it hard to edit, in my opinion. But I think if cropped this photo like that, it would help a lot more, because then it would look like he's in this wasteland with a burning wreck behind him. And then you wouldn't have to have the illusion broken by the house. But still, I would not have the guts to put one of my figures in a fire pit. So that's pretty impressive. And I like how he's just kind of standing there like, what the heck am I supposed to do? He doesn't have a weapon. He doesn't have anything. He's just got a wasteland around him. So he's kind of standing there like, what am I doing? It almost makes me want to try having fire, like real fire in the background, because editing in fire like that is difficult. That's pretty cool. Wait, well, hold on a second. This figure's not edited in, right? No, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way. It's got to be actually there. That's impressive. Again, I would not have the guts to do that. Okay, this one is by Techno Hunter 15, and I think this is another one that's not really outdoors. It's a cool photo. I'm not sure why it's like doubled like a stop motion frame, but it's pretty cool. It's an old articulation like marine medic, and then a warthog, and then a doorway, and the marine is walking through the doorway with such an immense amount of swagger. Like, look at that. He's strutting into that door. I don't think it's outside though. I'm seeing something beyond the warthog that almost makes me think it is outside. Here, wait, let me look. Didn't say anything. Yeah, there's nothing about where it was taken here. But a lot of other stuff is outside. So maybe this is outside, because beyond the warthog window, I'm seeing what looks like maybe trees and some light. But there's also an effect on the photo that has kind of a 3D edge to it. I don't know. That's I can't tell. I guess we'll just consider it an outdoor photo, because it looks like it could be some trees there. Now, what I'm a little confused about in this photo is the Marine is walking into this place with a lot of swagger, but the angle and the way the building he's going into, like how dark it is, looks kind of frightening. I almost would imagine to see flood off to the side get him as he comes in. So it's like both, there's both swagger and also kind of some ominous feeling to it. So I'm not really sure what's going on. But I do like how low it is, how it looks like we might be the thing that's waiting for this Marine inside. I'm still a little confused as to why it's doubled. Unless this is a stop motion frame, which might explain why he's kind of got a swagger, because he's probably in the middle of a walk cycle. I like that. I like the framing and stuff, but it gives me very much like Flood vibes. There's Flood coming. Okay, we've got 3 more. Oops, I keep accidentally clicking on my my recording bar. Oh, this is also Techno Hunter. This is the blue team look at that. 3 blue Spartans. We've got the blue Chief, the blue Mark 7, and then the blue Mark, what is that, a Mark 6? I think that's a Mark 6. And they're kind of standing on a little beach, maybe. And once again, there's a tilt. So the tilt can be really cool and add a lot to your photos. But if you use it too much, it will make your photos look, I don't want to say less good, but it'll be confusing to people because, like I said, it's usually for like confusion or danger, or like it's usually not very, that's not a very positive thing. So with this photo, this is a pretty, I don't know, it's like a hero shot of these 3 figures. There's nothing real ominous happening. The lighting kind of pretty upbeat, but it's tilted, and we're falling off to the side. And I think this photo would have benefited with more straight on. I think the tilt was not quite necessary here, because it is, like I said, more of a hero shot than any sort of ominous situation that needs a tilt. So, not a bad photo, but just the tilt, I think, was unnecessary. And this one's by The Colony. And we've got a little squad of elites, and then, ooh, the bronze and purple grunt. That guy is not easy to get your hands on. Looks like they're just kind of on a patrol. So, couple things here. There's a lot of empty space. Wait, let me get back my little arrow thing. There's a lot of empty space here. And here. And here. Like all of this where all the red arrows are, that's all empty space. And so there's a lot of space there, and then the chunk of the photo where things are actually happening is pretty small. So having, what's the best way to explain it? So negative space can be super useful, and it can be really used to help give your photo a certain feel. But if you just have negative space just because you weren't sure how to fill that space, then it kind of can make your photo feel a little empty. So this is not bad. It's just on the verge of being too much empty space, because my eyes have to travel kind of a long way up to get to the figures. And then the figures kind of look like they're all looking at something. There's like something just off of our screen that they're seeing that we are not. That's made them all stop walking and just kind of... The stands break the illusion a little bit, but it's not bad. And then the lighting and all that is pretty good. There's nothing that's really too confusing to look at. The way the figures are kind of put in a little U makes your eyes go into the photo and then back out again. So that's pretty good. Just the extra negative space is a little bit much. You know, drinking water in the winter kind of is difficult, because when it's cold, you don't want to be drinking something cold. I sometimes forget. Oh, this is by King Castle Sieger. I really like this one. So this is a really tight shot. So everything is really just right there. We've got a warthog. We've got what looks like some rocks off to the side. And then we have we got a Series 5 Johnson. He's all crouched down. He's got his AR up and ready. We have the SDCC Master Chief Collection Halo, what is that one? They did that one for Halo 3. So that's Halo 3 Chief. Got the dual SMGs. Then we got an Arbiter off to the side, which the Arbiter is the 20th anniversary gold Arbiter given a black undersuit, which that's something I wondered if it would work in my review of that set. So it's kind of cool to see it actually done here, and it works pretty well. He's even got the gold hands still, but the gold hands almost look like gloves or like extra armor. I think that works out really nice, actually. And then we have the kind of problem of this photo. The reason why everyone has their guns and swords out is flood. We've got 2 little flood infection forms crawling in, but I'm assuming that there are more off screen, or in the setting of this kind of scenario here, there is more blood off screen because Arbiter is kind of like pointing, and Chief is shooting, and Johnson is shooting, and these little guys are largely unignored for the moment. I imagine Chief will probably take them out in just a second. But yeah, there's probably more bigger flood off screen, which is pretty cool. Actually, now I'm looking at it, is that the 20th Johnson head on the Series 5 Johnson? And it looks like Johnson might have a custom painted AR. Because I'm looking at the eyes, and I'm actually seeing eyes on Johnson. That's the one thing about this photo that I'm not so sure about, is the way that Johnson is looking. He's got his gun pointed way off to the side, but then he's kind of looking middle. Or almost like he's looking at the end of his gun. But I know there's really a lot of limitations when you're posing Mega Construx figures in like real deep gun shooting poses, but the way I feel like his head could have been turned ever so slightly. But that's kind of a nitpick. I really like the way this is all framed. I like how tight it is, how everything is there. There's a lot to look at. You can look around a bit. You can see the Warthog. Wait, does the Warthog have a silver dry brush on it? It kind of looks like it does. Silver dry brushing like on the edges and stuff. And then just the way all the figures are positioned. And then, of course, Chief front and center with that absolutely perfectly painted visor. That is one of the best painted visors I've ever seen. That was one of the good points of the Master Chief Collection set. That was King's Castle Siege. That's really good. I like that one a lot. So now, the point of these videos, I'm not going to be doing like judging every time, just looking at them and kind of talking about them a little bit. But because I was doing a contest on this site, we need to pick winners. And I think I want to do 3 places. First, second, and third. This is going to be a tough choice. So we're going to go process of elimination. So I know right away there's a couple I can eliminate. This one, unfortunately, Spartan Red, I have to eliminate your photo because it is not outside. So that's right away. That one's mine, so we're eliminating that one. Okay, gosh, this is going to be hard. I really like this one just because of how whimsical the whole situation is and how they're actually like holding on to the berries. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Let's take a look at this one. This one's really good, like I said, but also like I said before, the white is kind of like a spotlight being shined in your eyes just because there's so much white and it's so bright and there's not much to break it up other than the Spartan. Your eyes travel in a little triangle going from the side, middle to the side because that's the way the things are set. And then after that, it's just like there's just so much white coming. So I think for that reason, because it's a little harsh on the eyes in terms of how much white there is, this one will be eliminated from this contest. Oh gosh, 3 winners and there's so many good ones. Oh, there's so many good ones. This one's really good. Only reason I'm going to eliminate it is because I'm not so sure if it's outdoors. Just because of the way it's lit and how complete the blackness is, makes me think that maybe it's not outside. So, I think I will eliminate this one. Even though I really, really like the whole light in the barrel thing. That looks amazing. Let's see. That one's really good. I like that one a lot. That one's a good contender for the top spot. So is this one. Gosh dang it. Judging is hard. I'm going to eliminate this one. I think. Not because it's a bad photo. None of these are bad photos. So, definitely don't. Whenever I eliminate a photo, it's not because it's a bad photo. It's just I have to narrow things down. For me, I look at this and I really want it to be lower. I want to be on the level of the figures to see their fight better. Or if you want to make it really kind of engaging, have the whole camera angle kind of turned so the Elite's back is in the foreground, kind of blurred out, and you can see him this big shadow and then the Gungnir getting ready to fight. But as it is, just being up further away, there's not a ton for me to look at and be engaged by in the photo. I just see the two figures. I can look back and forth, and then that's kind of that. Oh, gosh. This one's really good, but again, I think I'm going to eliminate it just because I'm not so sure whether it's outdoors or not. I do really like the framing, though. I might reuse that framing myself, honestly. I'm going to eliminate this one. And like I said, the tilt doesn't exactly help here because it's supposed to be more like a hero shot. There's not much confusion going on. I'm going to eliminate this one as well. We've got only about 1/3 of the photo that has stuff going on in it, which is not bad to do that if you're doing it on purpose to create some sort of a feeling of like emptiness or whatever. But I don't think that was the goal here. That's at least not the feeling I'm getting. I think it was just kind of, that was how the photo was able to be set up. But it's not bad. Like I said, it's not bad. None of these that I'm eliminating are bad. Oh, narrowing it down now is going to be really hard. Let's see. What do we got left? Gosh dang it. I'm going to eliminate this one purely because of the house. The house takes me out of the idea. Unless this is supposed to be a little guy exploring someone's fire pit. Which I don't think that was the feeling here. That's just what the idea I'm getting from looking at it. I don't think that was the idea here. So the house kind of takes me out of the scene. So that one will be. Now we're down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have to get 3 out of 8. Oh, come on. Gosh, there's good. This is hard. Let's see. Oh. I think I'm going to go ahead and eliminate this one. Just because the highlights are a bit much for my eyes just when looking at it. We're taking that one out. Oh, we're down to 7 now. Difficult. I really like this one. Just because of how hilarious it is. Even though the main one, like I said, the editing, without the editing is better. It's just a little bit more clean. I'm going to eliminate this one purely because there's not a ton happening, which is, it's actually 100% fine to have photos where not much is happening. But just in this case, for process of elimination, that will be the reason why this one. Excellent photo, but there's just not as much going on in it. And now we're down to 6. As much as I like this one, as unique as it is, it's again, there's not as much happening, so it's not as engaging of a photo. So I think that's why I'm going to. So now we're down to 5. So here's what we'll do now. We need a number 1. So out of these 5, which one is the number 1? To be honest, I think number one has got to be Z19's photo, just because of how well put together it is. There's a lot to look at here. There's really nice lighting, all the little detail, like there's been a lot of attention to detail here, not only on the Spartan figure, but as like the little bits of blood, the smoke coming off of the crashed skiff, all of that, and just the fact that we get to see the original first shot compared to the one now makes it even more impressive. So I think for number one for this contest, we are going to have that be Z19's photo. So we're going to put that one over here. So now we need a number two. Okay, I think for number two, that will be Buster's photo, just because, well, so he said this is his first time shooting outdoors. And for a first time shooting outdoors, this is an absolutely fantastic photo. It's really solid. The way it's set up, there's a lot for me to look at. Like the way the depth of the shot is shown off by the pods being kind of stacked down into the distance. And just like I said, the fact that this is his first outdoor photo, that's really, really well done. So we're going to put this one over here next to Z19's. And this is our number two. So now we need a number three. And that's really difficult, because these are all really good. I think our number three is going to be this one. I Am Distressed photo. It's just really, really solid. There's not a ton going on, but there's enough going on that it makes me look at it, and then I kind of keep looking at it, because the first time I look at it, I see Chief. I see him shooting. The posing is really good. The way he's got his hand directly on the shotgun, whatever you call that, the grip, the part that reloads it. And then the muzzle flare, then I look at it again because I see the grunt on the ground, already defeated, already destroyed. And then I look at it again and again and again, because I have no idea how that elite is suspended in the air. He's falling backward and he's suspended somehow, and I have no idea how. So I just keep looking at it. And if you can get someone to keep looking at your photo because they want to see actually what's going on and how, that means you've done a very good photo. So that is our top three. However, I will, when I make the post to show off the winners, I am going to have these two in as honorable mentions because they're just really good. This one right here, this is by King Castle Sieger. It's a really fully contained story right in one photo, and I really like that. And then it's the grunts eating the berries. It's grunts eating berries. How can you not look at that and laugh, just because it's a ridiculous photo, but it's great at the same time. So that is our top three. Number one is Z19's photo. Number two is Buster's ODST photo. And number three is I Am Distressed CE photo. And our two honorable mentions. So that was a lot of really good photos. That was just a little snippet of the stuff that is on the Mega Construx Unboxed site. Obviously, I can't look at all of the photos. This video does have to be reasonable time. I don't know how long I'm going to end up having these videos be. I don't even know how long I've been doing this, to be honest. I'll have to look. But yeah, like I said, in the future, I would like to do looking at the Mega Construx subreddit, looking at some of the stuff in the Discords, looking at stuff on Facebook. So we've got a lot to do in those videos. But yeah, for now, I want to just say thank you to everyone who took those photos for this little contest. That was a lot of fun to look at, and there were some fantastic photos, and judging that was very hard. If I could, I would just be like, okay, here's first place, second place, third place, fourth place, 10th place, 15th, just all of them, but that would not work for making a post in gallery, because I think there's like 7 photo limit, something like that. But yeah, thank you everybody to like for all of that work that you did to put those photos in there. And I'm really looking forward to doing more of these videos because I love seeing what all of the community is doing, because there's so much going on out there. And a lot of it kind of can just get missed. Like on the Reddit, you can have an amazing photo just be there and then get buried under other posts and only get like 15 upvotes. Oh yeah, Instagram too. There's some really good photographers on Instagram that I want to look at eventually. So for now, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.